I was 270 pounds, completely miserable, and had tried every single diet that existed out there. I cried in dressing rooms, hid from cameras, and always stood at the very back of photos. Nothing was working, and I honestly believed I was just meant to live this way forever. But today, I am 140 pounds, jacked and living in the healthiest shape of my entire life. I lost 100 pounds, and these are the 5 rules I wish someone had told me sooner. If I could go back and talk to my 270-pound self, this is exactly what I would say. The first thing I would tell her, you need to build and protect your muscle mass. I know what you are thinking right now. You do not want to look big or bulky. But trust me on this, being bulky takes years of serious and very intentional dedicated work. I have been training hard for years and I still would not even consider myself bulky at all. After the age of 30, women lose up to 1% of their muscle mass every year. If you are not actively working to keep your muscle, your body will slowly take it away. Having muscle improves your bone density and protects you from serious fractures as you get older. 1 in 3 women over 50 will experience a bone fracture at some point in their lifetime. Muscle also increases your metabolic capacity, meaning your body burns more calories just to simply exist daily. Think of your metabolism like a cup that holds your total calorie limit for the entire day. Having more muscle is like having a bigger cup. More capacity, more burn, more freedom to eat. You can eat the same amount of food and still be sitting in a calorie deficit every day. Muscle helps regulate your hormones, balance your blood sugar, and naturally boost your growth hormone levels too. It increases testosterone, which fuels your energy levels, your drive, and your overall daily confidence significantly. It reduces chronic cortisol, increases your endorphins, and even helps ease your menopause symptoms in a big way. When you are proud of your body, you show up to every single room with a completely different energy. Our clients have applied for jobs they never once thought they were qualified or good enough to get. They got those jobs because improving their body completely transformed their mindset and their belief in themselves. A confident body changes how you carry yourself and how the entire world around you responds to you. To maintain your muscle, all you need is resistance training 3 days a week and enough daily protein. The second rule is simple, completely free, and something you can genuinely start doing today without any equipment. Just get to stepping. Increase your daily steps and watch your body begin to slowly change over time. Right now, I am hitting around 25,000 steps a day while actively prepping for a bodybuilding competition. But back at 270 pounds, I was barely managing to hit 5,000 steps on any given single day. I did not need to jump to 25,000 steps overnight. I just needed to slowly and steadily increase. When you look at your total daily calorie burn, your NEAT shows up as the second highest contributor. NEAT stands for Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. It is simply your everyday movement throughout the whole entire day. Walking, doing laundry, taking the stairs, all of that quietly adds up to a significant calorie burn daily. One of my coaching clients had a shoulder injury and could no longer train the way she loved. She was devastated because shoulders were her absolute favorite thing to train, and now she just simply could not. We convinced her to just walk more and slowly increase her daily step count instead of forcing training. A few weeks later, she said her pants were fitting better and the scale was finally going down. All she did was walk more, and that single change made a bigger difference than she ever expected. Download a free step tracking app and just run it quietly for 1 full week without changing anything. Find out your actual daily average first before you try to push it any higher or further along. Then add 500 steps to that daily average every single week until you reach around 8,000 to 10,000 steps. You do not need a gym. You do not need to run, you just need to walk more consistently. The third rule completely transformed my results. What you do not measure, you simply cannot manage or change. I spent months genuinely believing I was eating healthy and making really smart and solid food choices daily. But I was not actually eating in a calorie deficit at all. I just truly believed I was. The small bites, the little tastes, the leftover food, these feel innocent, but they absolutely do add up fast. The mom tax, the leftover pancake, the random handful of nuts, none of that is actually calorie-free. Every single little bite and taste quietly stacks up, and before you know it, you are over your calories. All I did to finally break my plateau was get a food scale and track my food in grams. I use my FitnessPal, stay in a calorie deficit, and focus on whole nutrient-dense foods every single day. I went from completely stuck at 176 pounds for months all the way down to 140 by tracking everything. Stop telling yourself that you are not eating enough to lose weight, because that story is simply not true. If you are not losing weight, you are simply not in a calorie deficit right now. Full stop. Start by tracking your food for just 7 days to get completely honest about what you are eating. No pressure, no perfection, just pure awareness, because awareness is always the very first step toward real lasting change. The fourth rule is something most women are seriously not getting nearly enough of. Eat way more protein. Protein is the building block of muscle, and without enough of it, all of your hard training suffers. Not only that, protein has the highest thermal effect of food, meaning your body burns calories just digesting it. Use a free calorie calculator, enter your details honestly, and do not overestimate what your daily activity level is. Take that information and plug it straight into MyFitnessPal, and then just start tracking your protein today. If you are only eating 50 grams of protein a day, that is simply not going to cut it. Track your average daily protein intake for a full week, and then start working to increase it gradually. At breakfast, swap the avocado toast and overnight oats for actual high-protein foods that properly fuel your body. Egg whites, extra lean ground beef, chicken breast, ground turkey, and tuna are all genuinely great protein sources daily. Just because something has protein in it does not automatically make it a truly great and efficient protein source. Peanut butter, nuts, and most protein bars are loaded with fat and carbs alongside that small amount of protein. A real serving of peanut butter is only 15 grams, not the generous scoop most people are taking. A protein powder with 25 grams of protein and under 3 grams of carbs will always outperform any bar. If the majority of calories in a food are not coming from protein, it simply is not a protein source. Now, the fifth rule is my absolute favorite and honestly the most important one on this entire list today. So many women I work with are emotional eaters. I was a big-time emotional eater for years myself. The kids are screaming, I am stressed, and I am going back and forth to the pantry 10 times. Get me triggered, and I would go through an entire sleeve of Oreos just to calm myself back down. Then I would wake up full of guilt the next morning and punish myself with a brutal cardio session. Then do it all over again. Same cycle, same shame, same zero progress, over and over without stopping. You can know everything about nutrition and training, but if you cannot consistently execute, none of it will matter. From the day you are born, something goes in your mouth every time you feel upset or start crying. A soother, food, comfort. From birth, we are wired to use our mouths to soothe whatever we feel. As adults, we eat, we drink, we scroll, we distract, instead of just sitting with and actually feeling emotions. And the worst part is that numbing the bad emotions slowly starts to numb out all the good ones too. So here is what I would tell my 270-pound emotional eating self to start doing right now today. Stop bringing the junk food home. If it is not sitting in your house, you simply cannot eat it. If you genuinely want it, go out and get one single portion and do not bring the rest home. Practice the pause. Before you reach for food, ask yourself honestly what you are actually feeling in this moment. Are you bored, lonely, stressed, angry, tired, or sad? Or are you actually truly and physically hungry right now? Because if you are not actually hungry, food is simply not the answer to what you are really feeling. Going for a walk, changing your environment, and getting fresh air will change your emotional state far more effectively. I used to call it leaving the house instead of leaving my body through food, drinking, or other escapes. Once I became aware I was escaping my emotions through eating, I started choosing to escape through movement instead. And I felt better every single time. Without the guilt, without the binge, without the shame spiral that followed. Cravings are not physical, they are entirely neck up. It is your mind speaking, not your actual body. Your body does not want ice cream, that is your mind. And your mind can absolutely be redirected elsewhere. When someone questions what you are eating, your reaction belongs entirely to you. Their words only carry the power you give them. Nothing has any meaning other than the meaning you personally and consciously choose to give it every single time. We tie so much emotional meaning to food, pizza night, movie popcorn, period chocolate, holiday desserts, all of it. But none of those things have to mean what you have always believed or told yourself that they mean. If you want real change in your life, then something in your daily life absolutely has to change first. One small step at a time, like a staircase. One stair, then another. Little by little, it quietly builds. A little becomes a lot, and those small, consistent actions become the transformation you have been waiting on all along. We had a client who quit drinking for 2 weeks and felt absolutely incredible and completely transformed inside out. She had one drink, and the old patterns, the late-night munchies and skipped mornings, came flooding right back. But she caught herself. She recognized the old pattern and used that awareness to finally make a better choice. That is truly all this is. Awareness, small steps, honest tracking, more movement, better protein, and protecting your muscle. I just want to be the person I needed so desperately when I was 270 pounds and completely lost. Trying every fad diet, failing every single week, and genuinely believing deep down that I was just too broken. You are not broken. You are just missing the right information, the right habits, and someone who actually cares. These 5 rules are not complicated. They are simple, they are honest, and they absolutely work when you do.